Hello everyone, welcome to the current affairs discussion of the day 23rd July. Firstly, question number 1. The question number 1 is associated with the question related to IMF, and the question is, where is the headquarters of IMF located? The given options were New York, USA, Geneva, Switzerland, Washington DC, USA, and option D, London, UK. Why this IMF institution is in news? Because the Geeta Gopinath quits IMF to join Harvard University as a faculty. Hence, this IMF institution is in news. And IMF was established in the year 1944 after the Bretton Woods Conference. In the year 1944. Basically, after this Bretton Woods Conference that was held in 1944 in Washington DC, there were two world's major institutions were established. One is IMF, International Monetary Fund, and the other one is World Bank. IMF and World Bank. The IMF was established in 1944, and the headquarters of IMF is located in USS Washington DC, and the current Director General or the President of IMF is Christiana Georgieva. And talking about World Bank was formed in the year 1944, and this headquarters is also located in Washington DC, USA, and the current 14th president of this World Bank is Ajay Banga. This is information which is related to these two institutions, but the question is asking, where is the headquarters of IMF being located? The correct answer is option C, Washington DC. Hence, option C would be the correct answer for question number 1. Here, option C, Washington DC. And talking about IMF, founded in 1944 after the Bretton Woods Conference. This Bretton Woods Conference is also known as United Nations Monetary and Finance Conference that was held in the year 1944, and this IMF's operations officially began in 1945. Headquarters is being located in Washington DC, as we discussed, and the member nations were 191. What is the objective of this IMF? It aims to ensure global monetary cooperation, financial stability, and economic growth, promotion of economic growth. So this is related to IMF. And question number 2, Article 63 of the Indian Constitution deals with. The given options were Vice President, President, Chief Justice of India, and Governor. Why this Article 63 is in news? Because the Vice President of India, currently he is the 14th Vice President of India. He submitted his resignation to the President of India. By using the provisions mentioned in Article 67 Clause A of the Constitution of India. Who is the current Vice President of India? He is the 14th Vice President, and he is Jagdeep Dhankar. The Jagdeep Dhankar has resigned from his office yesterday. Hence, I framed this question related to the office of Vice President. Jagdeep Dhankar, formerly he was the West Bengal governor, and he formerly a member of Parliament as well, and he works as Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs, and he is also the advocate in the Supreme Court. So this was some experience that was held upon by the Jagdeep Dhankar, and he was resigned from his office on the health grounds. So VP, Vice President, addresses his resignation to President, and in the same way, President addresses his resignation to Vice President. This was mentioned in the Constitution of India. And if you see in part 5 of the Constitution of India, it deals with the Union from the Articles 52 to 151. In this, there were several chapters. Upon one chapter dealing with, chapter 1 deals with executive, from the articles 52 to 78. In this executive category, the union executive contains provisions related to president, vice president, prime minister, council of minister, and attorney general of India. So vice president's articles were mentioned from 63 to 69. So let us look at the articles from 63 to 69. What are all the provisions associated with the vice president that we need to aware of those provisions? So they were highly important for the examination because this office was in news. If you see article 63 talks about vice president of India. There shall be vice president of India. So this is article 63, and article 64 talks about whoever the vice president of India, he shall act as the chairman of Rajya Sabha or Council of States, which basically means vice president acts as the ex officio chairman of Rajya Sabha. This is talking about article 64, and article 65 contains provisions related to vice president acting as president in certain emergency circumstances or emergency situations. And article 66 deals with election of vice president. How the electoral college for election of vice president is all the MPs. Basically it means MPs from both Lok Sabha as well as the Rajya Sabha. So the election is indirect election, and through the system of proportional representation system by single transferable vote. So this is article 66, and article 67 talks about term of office of vice president. Generally the term of whoever assumes the office of vice president, he got the secure term of 5 years. And if he wants to resign from his office, that was mentioned in clause A of article 67. The vice president has to address resignation to president. Upon accepting this resignation by the president of India, then vice president get his resignation. The resignation was approved by the president of India, and then VP was resigned from his office. So this is article 67 clause A, and article 67 clause B contains provisions related to removal of vice president. How VP was removed, we see in article 66 how VP was elected, and in article 67 clause B we have the provisions related to how VP meaning vice president can be removed. So basically we have to give the 14 days notice to him. After then the Council of State, which means Rajya Sabha, has to pass a resolution by effective majority, which means majority of all the then members present and voting. Then after that, this this resolution is transferred to Lok Sabha, which is House of People, and in this House of People, if this resolution passed by simple majority, then vice president get removed from his office. This is mentioned in article 67 clause B. So we see article 63, 64, 65, 66, 67 clause A, 67 clause B, and article 68 talks about, this is important because currently the vice president, there is no vice president today there is no vice president. So what's next to this office? The constitution says that time to refill the vacancy that was occurred in the vice president office has to be conducted as soon as possible. If the newly elected VP, whoever assumes office after conducting elections, he get the full term of 5 years. So the new VP elected will get the full term of 5 years. So all these provisions were highly important for the examination. And Article 69 talks about what? It talks about oath or affirmations of the vice president. Oath or affirmation of vice president. So oath of VP, oath of president is mentioned in the constitution. Oath of president mentioned in Article 60 and the oath of vice president mentioned in Article 69. So these were mentioned in constitution only. So don't think they were mentioned in Schedule 3 of the Constitution of India. This is wrong. The oath and affirmation of president and vice president were mentioned in the constitution itself. So for this question, Article 63 of the Indian Constitution deals with what? Deals with vice president of India. Deals with vice president of India. For president, it is Article 52. Vice president, it is Article 63. Chief Justice of India, Article 124, and Governor, Article 153. Article 153. So option A would be the correct answer for question number 2. And if you see the explanation here, Article 68, time of holding elections to fill vacancy in the office of vice president, and term of office of person elected to fill casual vacancy. To fill vacancy. So option A, vice president, would be the correct answer for this question. This was Article 68 that we previously discussed. If you want to read, just pause the video and read these provisions that were mentioned in the constitution. So question number 3, WHO, which is World Health Organization, declared which country as trachoma free country? Trachoma free country. Trachoma free country. Trachoma is the bacterial infection which causes the blindness. Bacterial infection which causes the blindness. So recently Senegal country declared trachoma free by the WHO. Senegal. Hence option C would be the correct answer for question number 3. So here Senegal is located. All this region is highly important because this region is known as Sahel region. So all the insurgencies, conflicts, military coups were happening in this region. So the question can be framed based on this Sahel region. Which of the following countries are part of the Sahel region? If you see, is Sudan, Chad, Nigeria, Mauritania, Mali. So all these were Sahel region countries. So WHO declared which country? Senegal country. Hence option C would be the correct answer. Option C, Senegal. Senegal was officially declared free of trachoma by the WHO in July 2025. And this is the 25th country globally and the 9th African country to eliminate trachoma completely. So if you see the background of trachoma, this caused by the bacterial infection. Bacterial infection causes this trachoma, and this was caused by the Chlamydia trachomatis. Remember, this is the causing agent. Chlamydia trachomatis, and basically it causes blindness. Hence option C, WHO declared Senegal as trachoma free country. And moving on, question number 4. Talking about the FIDE World Cup semi-final. Who has become the first Indian woman to reach semi-finals? So this is important. First Indian woman to reach the semi-finals of FIDE Women's Chess World Cup. And FIDE Chess World Cup 2025, the host country would be India. So remember this point as well. So who is the first Indian woman? Koneru Hampi. Option B, Koneru Hampi was the first Indian woman to reach the semi-finals of this FIDE Chess World Cup. So hence option B, Koneru Hampi, would be the correct answer for this question. And moving on, question number 5. Which IIT team? This is important question. This is highly important. Which IIT team discovered traces of 2000-year-old buried Buddhist stupas and structural remains? So options were IIT Roorkee, IIT Kanpur, IIT Madras, and IIT Delhi. And the question can also be framed uh, where is this 2000 years old buried Buddhist stupa and its structural remains was found in which of the following state? So these stupas and his remains were discovered in the state of Haryana by the IIT Kanpur, hence option B. Therefore option B would be the correct answer. This is important question. So if you see the explanation here, in a remarkable scientific breakthrough, a team of IIT Kanpur discovered that the ancient Buddhist stupas and its structural remains buried beneath the soil in Yamunanagar district of Haryana, in the state of Haryana. Hence option B, IIT Kanpur would be the correct answer. And moving on, question number 6. The NISAR mission, a joint Earth observing project, is the first joint satellite of this. NISAR stands for NASA ISRO's synthetic aperture radar mission. This was the first joint satellite missions of both ISRO and NASA. Hence option C, ISRO and NASA would be the correct answer. What it basically do? It was injected above the 700 kilometers. Basically, this is the Earth observatory satellite, and the objective of this mission is to map the Earth, and to also it monitors or observes the Earth ecosystem, and it determines the sea level. And water underground water level, and it basically monitors the climate change happenings in the Earth planet. So this was NISA's mission, is joint collaborative missions of ISRO and NASA. This is going to be launched on the 30th of this month, so 30th July 2025, by using GSLV satellite, and the launching center would be Satish Dhawan Space Center. Satish Dhawan Space Center, located in the state of Andhra Pradesh. So if you talk about ISRO was formed on Indian Space Research Organization was formed on 15th August 1969. Previously this was known as INCOSPAR, and later it was renamed as ISRO, and it was formed on 15th August 1969. Headquarters is located in Bangalore, Karnataka, and the current the 11th chairman of ISRO is V. Narayan. And talking about NASA, National Aeronautical Space Administration, formed in the year 1958. Headquarters is located in Washington, D.C. And what are remaining institutions which are present in Washington, D.C. that we discussed today? They were IMF, World Bank, and NASA. These three were present in, or their headquarters is located in Washington, D.C. So therefore option C, ISRO and NASA's joint satellite mission. This is a NISAR mission. If you see the explanation here, this is a first joint satellite of ISRO and NASA, will be launched by ISRO's GSLV F-16 on July 30, 2025 from the Satish Dhawan Space Center, Sriharikota, Andhra Pradesh. So this was orbiting in the Sun synchronous orbits. Hence option C would be the correct answer for that question number 6. And moving on, question number 7. Golan Heights is a disputed territory contested primarily between which two countries? The options for Israel Egypt, Israel Lebanon, Israel Syria, Israel Jordan. If Israel is a common here, if you consider this as Israel, this was surrounded by the Egypt, Jordan, and north of it Lebanon, and to the west of Israel it is Mediterranean Sea, and to the northeast it is Syria. So all these four options were the boundaries of Israel. So you have to remember, Egypt is sharing boundary with Israel, Lebanon is also, Syria is also, Jordan is also. So, and the question is asking Golan Heights is a disputed territory between which two countries? The correct answer is Israel and Syria. If you see the explanation here, yesterday we discussed about the bordering countries of Syria. There were 5 bordering countries. One is Lebanon, Israel, Jordan, and Iraq, and from here it is Turkey. So these and Israel and Syria sharing borders. The bordering area is Golan Heights. This is the disputed territory between Syria and Israel. And so option C, Golan Heights is a disputed territory between Israel and Syria. And so option C would be the correct answer. And moving on, question number 8. A white hat researcher is appropriately described as. Why this was in use? Because this coin DCX, this is important. Coin DCX. What has happened is India has lost due to security breach. Indian government has lost more than 300 crore rupees because of these cyber attacks. To basically recover those funds, this coin DCX has launched India's largest recovery bounty in the crypto sector. What it basically offering? It offers up to 25% of recovered fund. Whatever the funds you are recovering, up to 25% of those recovered funds as a reward to anyone who provides actionable information that helps retrieve assets lost in a recent security breach. So hence coin DCX was in use. And so such kinds of individual who are going to recruited was referred to as white hat researcher. Basically it means a cyber security expert who acts ethically to improve security. Hence option A would be the correct answer for question number 8. And moving on, question number 9. Which country is largest producer of cotton in the world? And the correct answer for this question would be China, followed by the India. Hence option D would be the option D. Therefore option D would be the correct answer. China accounts for the largest production of cotton in the world. Therefore option D would be the correct answer. So recent FAO report suggesting that largest cotton producing in the world is China, followed by India. Hence option D, China would be the correct answer. If you talk about the FAO, this is Food and Agriculture Organization, was formed in the year 1945. The headquarters is located in Rome, Italy, and the Director General of FAO is Q Dongyu. So all this information related to FAO is also important for the exams. So question number 10. Economic census in India is conducted by which ministry? This economic census, the Ministry of Finance, Corporate Affairs, Home Affairs, Statistics and Program Implementation. The NSO office which works under the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, responsible for conducting economic census. Basically what this will do, this will collect the entrepreneurial census, entrepreneurial units who are involving in economic activities that were to be collected by this in this economic census by the NSO of Ministry of Statistics. And if you see census, the 16th census is going to conducted in the year 2027, and this was the 8th census after independence. So remember 8 2 16. So 8 2 16. So remember this, after independence it is 8th one, and from the beginning it is 16th one. So remember these numerological based questions can be framed based on for the census concept. So for question number 10, option D, Ministry of Statistics would be the correct answer. And if you see the explanation here, economic census in India is conducted by MOSPI, and the NSO, National Statistics Office within MOSPI, is responsible for carrying out the census. Hence option D, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation would be the correct answer. And we are ending our video with the static question. The question is, which Portuguese governor is referred to as the real founder of Portuguese rule in India? I would like to give the hint here. He captured the Goa from Bijapur Sultan in the year 1510. So he's basically Portuguese governor. So given options were Albuquerque, Francis de Almeida, Lord Duplex and Vasco da Gama. Just comment your answer in the comment section. And that's it for the day. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your time and best of luck. Jai Hind.